Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, testing. I think for that to happen, you have to hit end stream. Okay. Go, everything's on. Boom, boom. Okay. All right. Let's go over here to our watch list. So on low floats right now, this is what I'm seeing. We have SLRX leading the day with 24 million. We have AMZE with 31 million. So those are the top two in the small caps. One is 69 cents, one is $1.80. Below that, we have some other small movers. We've seen Lucy before. It can get very crazy. BKYI we've seen earlier. VCIG. Okay. So we'll see what these are doing. I don't see any catalyst on today for SLRX. Let's see about AMZE. CE. So it says Tuesday extended partnership with Adobe Express, extending access to India. That was on Tuesday, yesterday. Okay. Let's jump over to the things that I was watching yesterday. So during the day yesterday, we saw GLTO. I don't know if y'all saw it rip, but it ripped towards the end of the day. QNRX and Body was what I ended up taking a stab on and made just a little profit, just further digging my way out of the hole. Or I guess I'm already out of the hole, but just starting to pad onto the cushion. But I really didn't see anything else that made sense. Body actually had catalyst on yesterday, so that's pretty much the only reason that I actually ended up touching it. But yeah, let's go look into these. So let's start with GLTO. Back over here to the 15-minute. And right here. So look at this move during the morning and went back down to this level. So we have recently marked the level down here from 15 or 16 bucks down here to 13.02. It came down into this zone on yesterday in the morning and shot from 15 all the way up to $33 into the late afternoon. And let me spread this. Look at that move, man. I was looking and I was talking to Senate. I was talking to Senate in the Discord, and I was like, yo, this thing is ripping for no reason. No news, no nothing. I mean, it's just straight up to the moon into a halt. And then pretty much just coming back into this regular trading range. So that was that one. Let me look at the other one that I had there. The other one was QNRX. QNRX yesterday. And so this one I was watching and I really almost traded this one. It came down here and I was looking for some type of uptrend to start. And this is the 15 minute. Let me go to the 1 minute. Or maybe I was on the 1 minute. Okay. All right, so let me pan this up. I was looking all day for this thing to start some type of uptrend, but it just never did give me a clear, one, it didn't give me a clear uptrend. Two, it didn't have volume come back in and drag that point of control down into these trading levels. So I didn't feel comfortable jumping in on this one. I almost did. I really almost did, but it was a chop factory. And from where it did actually touch the bottom at 879, it did go back up to 1059, but it just wasn't worth it in this low volume trading area. The one that I actually traded was Body, BODI. So let me zoom back and see where the actual chart is. Okay, all right. So I started to find a little bit of an uptrend here on this one. And this one was low volume, but it had the trend. It had the structure for just a small little pop out. So from the bottom, it came down here to 511, started making its way up, and I was like, this is interesting. And it came popped up, and I was like, ooh, it might go, I don't know. But I didn't do anything with that. It came back down, tested the trend again, came back down, and it started to hold these higher lows right here at 5,891. And this is where I was entering right around, I got an average price of like right around 6,605. It went up here to 635 and I was selling. And again, this was a slow day. So I took what I could get and got on down. I think it was like a 10-cent winner or something like that. Yeah, right. 0.094 is what I won on that one. So slower day, just taking what I can get off of the market. Let me go to the calendar. So this is what my calendar is looking like. I only took 4 trades this month. Had to dig out of this hole. Had one last Thursday. This is Monday, then Tuesday, and then Wednesday is the day that I'm usually red on. So I don't know if I'm going to be touching anything today. We'll see if anything pops up. I do see CMCT popping up though. CMCT. CMCT. What was that? I don't see anything here. Where is my browser? Browser, Braid. Okay, yeah. And I don't know why I don't know if y'all been chatting, but I'm not seeing chats. I'm going to check this. Good morning, Senate. Make sure this chat is working. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not seeing them appear, but it is what it is, I guess. I just watch that one, I guess. All right, but what was I doing? So I was just showing you guys my calendar, what it's looking like. I've only taken 4 trades this month, 3 greens and 1 red. So and then I was about to go to somewhere. I'm trying to remember. Oh, CMCT. This one. Okay. So CMCT says it announces the sale of lending division. I don't know what that means. Let's go look at this news. So yesterday, Creative Media and whatever announces this date for third quarter 2025 earnings on November 14th. So in 2 days, announces the sale of lending. Okay. Lending division. Creative Media, blah, blah, blah. Interesting. All right. Well, this one, let's go and look into it. Why am I not seeing? Okay. That is crazy. I'm almost wondering, am I even streaming? I believe I am. Let me check the bit rate. Yep. Looks like I am. Just can't see those chats, huh? All right. Let's continue on. So yeah, let's go and look into CMCT. It's pretty much the only thing with giving range. It's got 3 million shares traded on it. Oh, something just popped in there. Okay. So no, something's working. Maybe this is an Asian company. Creative media. All right, so creative media. Oh my goodness, this thing has a long list. Okay, this is mm, it looks like real estate is a keyword in there. Investment, real estate, real estate. Looks like real estate, and I usually do not trade real estate. Small caps, commercial development as of June, whatever, 6 months. This is a lot of information for nothing. So this is a real estate looking stock. Yeah. With 5 full-time employees. So I'm okay with not touching that one. Let's go back over to the actual news on today and see what we see as some standout players out here. Hey, good morning, Hebrew. I see that chat. All right, so AMD stock rises as investors cheer growth targets. Is AMD green on the day? It is green on the day, up 5% right now. So putting that on the watch. House eyes stock trading ban once government reopens. So stock trading ban, what does that mean? Consider a stock trading ban once government opens, but deadline keeps moving. Key lawmaker has announced that the House of Representatives will formally consider a stock trading ban once government reopens, but it will be done in a way that creates uncertainty about when lawmakers will face an up or down vote on the issue. What does this even mean? It says Luna is a part of a group of lawmakers pushing a measure to ban all lawmaker trading. Okay, lawmaker trading. And called the move a big win for America. Okay, okay, so it's them. I was about to say ban trading. What? So ban lawmaker trading. Even as lawmakers themselves are split on the issue, polls indicate overwhelming public support for banning insider trading. One survey this summer from University of Maryland School of Public Policy found 86% of Americans backed the ban. Okay, so people really don't want the lawmakers trading. Okay. All right, well, let's go and look into other news. So right now, this is what my watch list is looking like. We got CMCT leading in the percent gain, but not in volume because it's a real estate stock. We have SLRX behind that, up 73% with 25 million shares traded. We have AMZE behind that with 33 million. One Life said, bro thought he was out of a job. Nah. Oh, um, Lucy, and then B Sig, and then BKYI. Oh, had me out here feeling some type of way, huh? Let me jump over here. Well, the good thing is, even if they did do that, I mean, the market or the news is still there, but I don't even know if the news will be worth watching if you can't take action on it, right? I would have to get an offshore broker, like something out there on an island or something, just to trade. Send all of my money out there. Hopefully, it doesn't disappear in the waters. But yeah, let me see what he's talking about here.
Let's start with you. What is the latest on the shutdown and what happens now?
Yeah. Morning, Julie. So the path to ending the shutdown is kind of becoming clearer by the hour after the Senate vote last night. This was a 60-40 vote to finalize the deal in the Senate and send it to the House of Representatives, as you mentioned. Also this morning, we're getting more sense from the House on the timing on their side. They're going to begin what they're describing as a series of votes starting at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow time. So in about a day's time to pass this. This bill is widely expected to pass. It's expected to have enough votes, but it will be a close vote. A lot of the drama, interestingly, for the next few hours is travel related. Lawmakers are scattered around the country. The House hasn't been in session for about 53 days. They have to get back to Washington and they have to contend with shutdown flight delays in order to end the shutdown. So it's a bit of a snaking in its tail there to kind of get back to Washington. Either way, at the end of the day, they're going to likely pass this and send it to President Trump, who has signaled he's going to sign it. What it'll mean for the bottom line for the markets and for the economy is that by the end of this week, Thursday or Friday is what's expected, the government will reopen and federal workers will be kind of get their back pay, be back at full strength, and start to reverse a lot of this economic damage from the flight delays to the lack of government data to all the other things we've been talking about for weeks now.
Yes, we have been. Chris, I want to ask you about this because the government shutdown didn't seem to hurt the markets, but the news yesterday that it was probably coming to an end seemed to help the markets. What gives?
I think what you saw, Julie, was just the removal of one overhang that's been, the market has been contending with. And you're right, when we look at a lot of the economic data, even the spending data that we did get, I think there was a lot of surprise to the upside given the shutdown. But now we know that it's, poised to end. I would say that there are other hurdles out there. Earnings growth, for example, how many rate cuts is the Fed likely to deliver between not only now and the end of the year, but the first half of 2026. But I also think we have to kind of step back and say that, this deal is just another kick the can, given that only some of the programs will be funded through September 30th, others January 30th. It tells me that just as we see, the December quarter earnings season really kick off in January, we could be talking about this all over again.
Yeah, One Life. Yeah, that's kind of what he was insinuating there at the end. This is just a band-aid, and it's a small band-aid because January 30th is literally right around the corner. So, they're gonna be right back at each other's throats. And next year, I guess they just were like, you know what, let's just have a good holiday season. Maybe if people get a bite of turkey or, get some of their bills paid. And then we go back at this after people realize, and they do their research on why the shutdown was and all of this stuff. Then the next time they'll be more quick to say, hey, you know what? Let's not shut the government down. We've seen what happens when we shut the government down. Do we really want to risk? Did y'all see the videos of the aircraft that almost crashed into each other, the airplanes and things like that? It was kind of crazy. And so it's like people, now that we've got a little taste test, a little of the saltiness there, will people really want to go back into that? Are people that are getting out of the food lines willing to say, oh yeah, let's just get back into the food lines? Nah, I don't think so. All right, next one is talking about AMD.
AMD is hosting its analyst day here in New York City. CEO Lisa Su laying out the company's AI plans and demand outlook. Joining us now with his key takeaways from the event is Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley. Dan.
Yeah, Josh, we're here at the NASDAQ in New York City. Obviously, Lisa Su on stage here discussing AMD's AI plans for the future. They said that they have a total addressable market opportunity of $1 trillion. And so they also laid out plans for their upcoming AI chips when it comes to the data center, the MI450 line, as well as the MI500 line, and their Helios line of rack scale.
Now, if you all are over here trading CMCT, it is a real estate stock. I usually don't mess with real estate stocks, but if you all are wondering what's leading the day in the small cap, it's a real estate stock. So yeah, be careful on these. They can definitely do a lot of snapping. Wednesday is my worst day of the week statistically. So a lot of my decision making on Wednesday, I guess, is just bad. But being a real estate company only with 5 million shares traded so far, with two other stocks above it that are up 68 and 41% respectively, with 26 million out here, this CMCT is not getting the volume really that a good low float should be seeing. But yeah, CMT just kind of letting y'all know that it's what's kind of taking the eyes, and or not really the eyes because it's low volume, but taking the percent gain of the day, almost up to 100%.
Servers. And so when taken in totality, they clearly see themselves as grabbing market share from NVIDIA as well as Intel, saying that they're taking share from them in both the data center, claiming to be eventually the revenue leader as far as market share goes in data center. And then on the client side, the PC, whether that's laptops or desktops, grabbing market share from Intel as well. So they see everything as basically on the upswing. You can see the stocks down at this point, but that seems to be something that the entire AI space is dealing with at the moment.
Okay, so Delta Airlines.
Delta Airlines. What a sign. Delta is one of the best run airlines in the game. Just check out its stock price during the government shutdown. Shares are up about 2% in the past month, which is good considering the increasing chaos at America's airports. But the reality is Delta is one of the best run airlines around. The company's third quarter brought record revenue and a full year guidance lift. It's building more premium seats into its new planes, and it has a well-regarded profit sharing system for employees. For all of its strong fundamental characteristics, I'm really baffled the stock only trades at 7.8 times estimated forward earnings. The broader S&P 500, because of all its moves in AI, trades at about 22 times. Let's get the round table to weigh in here. Lou Bassanese, Jennifer Schomburger, and Brooke DePalma. Lou, coming to you. Any interest in a well-run company like a Delta trading at about 7.8 times forward earnings?
I start to get excited because that seems so cheap relative to the S&P 500, but then I remember a well-run company in a not so great industry is not an attractive investment. I mean, to paraphrase Warren Buffett, I mean, the airline industry is a great place to incinerate investor capital and shareholder capital. It's a notoriously difficult business to run, low margins, akin to, grocery stores. And then coming from the oil and gas space, I don't believe the tailwind of low energy prices is going to persist long enough to give this stock liftoff. I mean, it actually could trade lower from here. If you look historically back in the COVID days, we were trading at about 6.1 times forward earnings. So it could get another 20, 30% cheaper before it even lifts off from here on strong results, no doubt. I don't want to take away from the management team there. Doing a great job in a really tough industry, but it doesn't get me off the sidelines with capital.
Jen, flight schedules have been incinerated too.
Yeah, that's right. And I just want to say, to Lou's point, I've always viewed airlines as sort of trades as opposed to investments because it is such a cost-intensive industry. But to
all right, let's jump back over to the home page, see what else has crawled on. All right, so that's still up there. House eyes, self-driving trucks startup Intraday plans to go public via a SPAC. All right. Infineon soars as AI outlook boosts 2026. Okay, so those really aren't any of our type of tickers. Self-driving truck firm. Okay, so that's another one. Hey, we're opening up on a SPAC. Is that happening today or something? Let's see, self-driving truck startup. Okay, Enright said Wednesday it plans to go public via a merger. When is this going to happen? The deal is expected to generate 219 million in gross proceeds. The merger is expected to close in the first half of 2026. So first half of 2026. That's on out there. The company's 100, which was announced. It raised 100 million. In October, was meant to help the company scale with its customer base. Any more dates though? Okay, so I guess the first half of 2026. So that's kind of future casting. All right. Next one. A seismic shift in computing is on the horizon. We already notated AMD shares climb. STM Microelectronics CEO sees the first quarter revenue at usual levels. Italy's A2A lifts investment plan to 27 billion. Okay. All right.
AMD is hosting its analyst day here in New York City. CEO Lisa Su laying out the company's AI plans and demand outlook. Joining us now with his key takeaways from the event is Yahoo Finance tech editor Dan Howley. Dan.
Yeah, Josh, we're here at the NASDAQ in New York City. Obviously, Lisa Su on stage here discussing.
Ben, let's start with you. What is the latest on the shutdown and what happens now?
Yeah. Morning, Julie. So
Delta Airlines. Want to sign Delta is one of the best run airlines in the game. Just check out its stock price during the government shutdown. Shares are up about 2% in the past month, which is good considering the increasing chaos at America.
I don't know what's going on with Yahoo. Interesting. Cisco and Circle are up there.
All right, time now for what to watch Wednesday, November 12th. Going to start off on the earnings front. Had a lot of big names reporting on Wednesday, including Circle, On Holdings, and Cisco.
Interesting. All right, back over here to CMCT while I get this right. CMT had a high of 11. Has been going down for quite a while. Let's jump over here to the charts and go to our daily chart. This is why I don't like real estate plays, especially for day trading. It's just, they never act right. Closed yesterday at 5.01, $5.01. Had this possible resistance level. Looks like I had already had it marked. Possible daily resistance. And it did get above, let me see, 1097 just for a little bit, but now just kind of trading around that level, finding a hard top, a hard cap over here on CM CT. I'm thinking, later on in the day, it's probably going to go on down and kind of hard test these levels. Let's go and look at the retail versus institution. CMCT. I guarantee the institutions are heavy on this real estate stock. Going back up there towards those 11s, but making a little lower high there. 11.11 was 11 flat was the high. Okay, so looking at the float is pretty low, under a million. Is this the right one? Yeah, CMCT. Float is low, and that's probably why people are on it. But if we look at insiders and institutions, 6%, that's not super high. That may be another reason that they're on it. But still, real estate in general, I mean, I just don't have a history of having very successful real estate low float plays. So I'm going to just go on statistics here and say I'm probably going to get murked on that. It went up there to tried to get to 11, had quite a nice drop from 1077 back down here to 979, which was about $1 drop there. Add that on out of there.
What is the latest on the shutdown and what happened?
No, I want Trade Outlook. Literally just came out 4 minutes ago.
To our question of the day, investors are still split on whether or not the AI trade is currently in a bubble. But putting that aside for a moment, what is the next major catalyst for the tech trade? Lou, over to you.
Yeah, I think it's more of the same, right? Strong earnings growth from the Mag 7. If you look at it separated out, they've been reporting, 20% plus earnings growth quarter after quarter for the first 3 quarters of the year. Looks like we'll get more of that when NVIDIA reports. But for me, I mentioned it earlier. I think the key is seeing that transition from huge CapEx spending to profits being generated, not just from chips, but from the solutions that these chips are getting put into. So we want to see companies, OpenAI may become public in 2026. What's their revenue and profit look like? What are the other AI platforms generating in terms of revenue? Because for this really to work out, you've got to, I think I saw a stat where you got to basically charge every Apple user about $30 per month to use AI for this to be a viable business model. And that's to be determined. I think we really need to see that focus move from the chip spending to the actual revenue for AI platforms. And then also solution providers. I see a lot of opportunity for AI in the healthcare space. On the big cap side is a company.
I think if they charge Apple users, they charge Apple users to use AI, they're gonna probably lose customer base. There's so much free AI that is downloadable and usable from the internet. To charge people for AI, like Apple can do it too. They can be like, oh yeah, if you use any AI here, yeah, you're gonna be paying us some money. So Apple, I mean, I've never been a big Apple fan. Actually, I've never been a little Apple fan, but yeah, that would be a bad move on their part, and they're probably gonna lose some customer base if they try to do that.
Company like Tempest AI that's using their testing business to develop really innovative ways to get people in the right clinical trials. I think you're going to see some innovative solutions there. But right now, I think, like I said, it's more of the same. More earnings growth, more chip sales, more AI utility names doing big deals with the Mag 7.
Jen, this is in your wheelhouse, but one potential catalyst for tech could simply be one more rate cut before year end.
Absolutely. That was my thought process as Lou was speaking. I think if you continue to see the economy, you don't see it go into recession, and the data sort of holds in with what we've been seeing over the past month or so on the private sector data side, where not much has changed, then and the Fed is on track for another rate cut, that creates a tailwind into the end of the year and is going to help the Mag 7 and the big tech names, which continue to be a show me story.
Brooke, what do you think could be a catalyst?
Well, I was reading a few sources' notes this morning, and what we're really hearing is, one, this government shutdown needs to end. Two, we need to get that return of that government data, as Jen was just pointing to. Also, this tariff turmoil that we've been seeing. Bank of America, Vivek, analyst there, saying this all in a note. He also went on to say that if those macro factors are out of the picture, tariffs, government shutdown, we get back that data, then we can sort of shift and refocus back on this AI spending cycle.
All right, so Bright Awakening is called out SLRX. Let's go look at that. SLRX. Oh, it's already on the scan there. Let me see. So it's $1 and something. He said it might be a good level for upside long on the, but does it have catalysts or anything? Let's go look at what this is. It's number 2 on the scan right now for low floats. It's $1.65, up 68%. Let's go look at what this actually is. SLRX. So looking over here on the charts, I'm seeing that it came down here to 148, came down here to 148. The initial run up was from 105 all the way up here to 303 and gave back about, is that half or over half? 303, 106. So it gave back about half of the move, did a little move back up and came back down. So I really don't. Let me go and look at the profile and see what this thing is. It looks like some kind of pharmaceutical company. It's got 27 million shares traded on it. Come on, profile load in. It's like early in the morning, Yahoo is kind of slow, and then later on, it's just easy to use. It's just, you know. Anyway, so looking at the statistics, the float is under 1 million shares traded. Not super high insiders or institutions. Wow, CMCT coming on down, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what real estate does to you. Goes up there, finds a little level, and it's just bad, man. Yeah, sure, there are opportunities, but look at the chop. So 1106 was the high, and so since that is our outlier level, that's where I will begin drawing structure. But as of now, we will need to see it come back in here and see what it's gonna do. Point of control is 988 right now. On the 1 minute, it is 911 on the 5 minute and 897 on the 15 minutes. So 897. We mark all of those up before it ends up moving. So 987 down to 897. And we'll see how it trades in here. Not to trade it. I'm not going to trade this. This is real estate, so this is out of my scope. Solaris Pharmaceuticals. So Solaris Pharmaceuticals Inc. operates a clinical stage biotechnology company that focuses on developing treatments for cancers with unmet medical need. Its lead candidate is that word, a small molecular inhibitor, which is in phase 2 clinical trial for treatment. The company also offers SP3164, a small molecular protein degrader for the treatment of hematological and solid tumors. It has, okay, all right. So cancer prevention. The company is out of Houston, Texas. And I didn't see any news on TOS for it. Let me go and check Yahoo and see if they have news. But either way it goes, it's kind of one of those cheaper ones that makes you have to oversize. So it's definitely out of scope for me. Most of my profits come above $5. I say most, pretty much 98% of my profit comes from over $5. 99, I would say 99, but it's close. All right, so looking at the news here, this is 22 hours ago. 20. Okay, so this is the last thing they had. Solaris Pharmaceuticals announces a pricing of 7 million underwritten public offering, and that's just pretty much diluting their shares even more with the public offering. So I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Go back up here to this. Yeah, that one is one that I don't know if you can make quick profits off of it. CMCT continue to play around with right around the bottom of this box, continue to go down. Let's see anything else up here. BKY, anything that just looks bullish, because most of these have lighter volume that are down here, but none of them look bullish. MSPR is down 19%. That one was up to like 60 something since like yesterday or the day before. Ruby trash. CMND trash. BCIG. Let me make sure I'm not missing any catalysts on these as to why they're down. Nope, no catalyst on MSPR, no catalyst on Ruby, no catalyst on CMND, no catalyst on VSIG, BKYI. It does have a little bit of catalyst, but it's, what is this catalyst? It says BioKey partners with Vapor VM to expand reach of its advanced identity and access management and biometric cybersecurity solutions in Middle East and Africa. I mean, it's got catalyst on today. That was from 3 o'clock this morning, Central Standard Time over here. So the BKYI looks better than that other one that we were looking at, SLRX. At least it has catalyst on the day. Lucy, no catalyst. Lucy, no catalyst. AMZE, no catalyst. SLRX, no catalyst. So the only thing with catalyst up here is CMCT and which one was it? And BKYI. So I don't know. Like, even if you hold it for the day, what is going to make day traders come in and say, hey, I want to knock this up? What behind it is going to make them do that? Do they have any kind of conferences coming up or whatever? And even with conferences, there's still weak catalysts. Like, let's say they say they're going to present at some conference. A lot of times those catalysts are just money grabs. If they're not actually putting something out or producing something, they can do a direct offering off a little bit of move and make a lot of money and just take everybody down with them. So I'll be very careful. BKYI is a pretty flat trading. It's pretty flat. It's not a lot of upwards movement here. And plus it's cheap. So this one is going to force you to oversize to even make a little bit of profit. So that's a trap to me as well. A lot of these stocks just telling me, hey, today is not your day. Stop playing with me. CMCT is the only thing that's meeting the range and all of that, but it's real estate. So, I mean, very, very few times have I seen real estate rip to the moon, especially in our housing. And let me see where this was at. CMCT. What are they, what is their focus for real estate? Are they buying in a specific area, or do they have multiple properties? What they got going on over here? Because really and truly, I remember One Life said this one time. It was back in the way back in the past. We're looking for things that make dollar moves so we can make our cents, right? So like things that are moving to a rate of, or the rate of change of that thing is moving to where you can get your taste out of it. You can get your percentage out of it. And like with my trades, I'm looking for 30 cents per share, right? And 30 cents per share is pretty big in the small cap area, because it's usually a higher price stock that does it, right? Most of these dollar stocks, 50-cent stocks, gonna be very hard for them to move 30 cents unless they're like President Trump just sold his shoes to this company, and then maybe it'll move 30 cents. Maybe. But yeah, I'll be very careful on that one. What was I going to? CMCT, and I was looking at who they actually have. No, this is the media company. My bad. This is a media company. No, I was right. What am I talking about? The name looks like media. Creative Media and Community Trust Corporation. And it's a trust? Ugh. That's even worse. Okay, so yeah, with our 5 full-time employees that we need to pay today, we're going to make money today off of this real estate ticker by dumping. All right, so Creative Media, so it showed a little bit of their portfolio, I believe. High population, blah, blah, blah. headquartered in Los Angeles, California, and has offices. It's got all of these offices, but where's their real estate? Our real estate portfolio consists of 27 assets. 27 assets. That's not a lot for a real estate company. They're still pretty much just building out, looks like. So, yeah. And then for a real estate company, most real estate companies have to pay out dividends and all of that stuff. Do they even have 27 assets? Most of the real estate that I add to my long-term portfolios have like 200, 300 assets. They have a bunch of real estate properties. I don't know about this. That's another little kind of nasty. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. 12 office properties totaling approximately 1.3 million rentable square space. Yeah, no, so CMCT is, yeah, once you read into these, a lot of times, especially when they're real estate, they'll uncover themselves. And I was wondering why their profile, why it was so many words here. There's a lot more words here than we usually see. And it's to cover up that they only have 27 assets, which is towards the bottom, you know, maybe 2 paragraphs in. And if you don't really look, you're like, oh, real estate, let's go. But yeah, they'll get you cooked. All right, back over. So, yeah, I would advise SLRX to reconsider on that one if you're trying to day trade. Most of the day trades that we look at, usually you have to have some kind of schedule or plan for your trade as far as like if you're going to hold it for a full day, an hour, 30 minutes. Most of my trades are usually not longer than 30 minutes. So I know after 30 minutes, statistically, I'm losing. So most of my trades are around, they really don't go over 30 minutes. They may be 15 minutes or 10 minutes or something like that, just a small scalp. But 30 minutes is crazy. I'm probably going to end up losing. So really you have to base your hold time off of your statistics. Where do you usually win? And so, yeah, I use my TraderSync as my journal, and it helps me kind of look through my data, look through my stats and all of that. And this month I've only taken 4 trades. So took that first one, kind of testing the waters, and definitely did not end up following the plan, but drug myself out of the hole with the next 3 trades. And I've been trying to keep them above $5 because that's where my winners are usually at. But yeah, statistically, that's where you get your hold time, how long you should be holding for your winners from, is your trade journal. Let's see. Other than that, though, SLRX, just looking for anything else. Let me jump back over here to the. You said a $3 target on SLRX, bro. You might need to hold longer than a day, my friend. If you're looking for a $3 target on a no catalyst stock on today, you may need to hold a lot longer, actually. And also, when it comes to probability, so all of these tickers have ATRs. ATRs are the average true range of the stock, right? And SLRX closed with a ATR of 52 cents, right? And so if you're looking for this thing to go back up to $3, its ATR, its average range on a day has been 50 cents. So what today will make it almost triple? Let me see. So you're looking for it to go to $3, right? Let me see. Do some math in here because math is important. You know, when I was in high school and all of that, I just didn't see the purpose because the way that it was taught, math was like, eh. But once I got out and I started studying on my own and doing all this, math has so many applications that you can use to figure things out and figure out probabilities and statistics is really I think the greatest thing that ever happened because you can look back and find and do pattern recognition, which is all day trading is. You're looking back into history seeing what his stats are, seeing what objects or ideas that moved like this before, how did they act? How did they do? So let's look at how much expansion it would need to do to get to that level. So back up to 303 from where it is now, 164. 303 minus 164 is $1.39. And what percentage is 52 is where it was. 52 divided by, wait, I already forgot the number. 303 from where it is now minus 163, 140. Okay. So then 0.52 divided by 140. It's gonna need to make a 40% move. Oh my goodness. It's gonna have to have a 40% increase just to get up there in the ATR. Let me see what example I can give of that happening today. Probability of that happening today is so low that you would have a greater probability of, let me see. You probably have a greater probability of the war between Israel and the Palestinians ending than that happening today, if that makes sense. Good morning, Donnell. Let's see. CMCT still struggling, but I think we definitely are looking in the right places. We've done our due diligence looking into these stocks for sure. And China Singles Day online. What? Slow shoppers opt for more affordable deals. That's not really, we don't care about. Okay. Yeah, but today is Wednesday, another hump day, and I don't know what it is about Wednesdays. I don't know what kind of digestion happens in the market or what. It's just a funny day to trade. And for me, I've seen that if there's nothing really good on this day, just stay out. Is pretty much what my statistics are telling me, because I've blown a lot of money on Wednesdays, hump days. I've been the hump in the Wednesday for a couple of times. All right, so let's jump back over here and refresh once again. See if any more news is coming. China, nope. The AI craze is eclipsing other opportunities. Bank of America analysts see a chance to zig while Wall Street zags. Of course, I've been grabbing things as well. When it comes, I mean, a lot of things have fallen, and I've been just slowly getting in as this dip has been going. CMCT not able to hold up that box where the points of control were. Continue to come down. 11 million shares traded. You got to know we're out here to rob these companies, and that's it. Hey, that's a good way to look at it, Hebrew. You are out to so this company wants funds for itself and for its operations. We as retail traders want funds for our operations. If we take from their operations to our operations, we are literally increasing our value off of their backs. So our job isn't to invest in the company and let them hold our funds, because they want our funds for their own purposes. So that is kind of right, Hebrew. Get in, get out before they start to manipulate and start to rip funds out of your wallet. Let me see. One Life says, as a trader, you consider probability and technical analysis. Absolutely. Absolutely. think that's one of the best things about having like a trading group or people that you talk to about trading. When you're trading by yourself, especially when you're first starting off, or even when you're on into it, most traders, most of these prop firms have somebody to talk to, somebody to talk through their ideas, because what can happen is you can concrete yourself into your own mind. You can say, okay, well, what I think is the thing to think, and that's it. But having some correspondence, having some other ideas to be like, oh wait, that makes sense. Oh wait, that is risky. Oh yeah, that, something to make you, because one of the things that I've noticed, even with social media and chats and Instagram and all of this, a lot of these things are echo chambers where you go in and people are like, oh yes, man. It's like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, do that. And you'll see even on some even on some of these live streams where people are watching people trade, they're like, oh, why aren't you doing this or that or whatever? But it's like, is your insight constructive and does it make sense, right? If you see something bad on something, you're like, oh, well, I'm bearish on this. And you can justify and explain your idea, great. It's up to the trader themselves to say, okay, well, let me take what they said as a grain of salt and look into it myself and see, are their points legitimate and are those strong points? A lot of times I see people online, it's like, bro, y'all just trading because they telling you to trade. And I'm just like, bro, you need to have your own strategy. And that's why so many people don't like live trading, because live trading puts you into the point where you actually have to think these things out live, and you make mistakes live if it's something to actually trade during, whatever time that you're live streaming. But I'm like, look, I know my stats. I got over 4,000 trades. I know my statistics. I don't care what's going on. Let me look at my stats first and then say, okay, well, based on this and some of the conclusions of these other folks, what moves do I need to make? Yeah, so I'm definitely one of those more research type traders, more not really catalyst focused, I guess you could say that, but I like to find a topic in the market, like AI, and look for that topic to pay me money. Like, that's really what I'm not just catalyst focused. I'll play continuation, if it's on a topic that has been hot. But yeah, CMCT still on that struggle bus. House vote could reopen the government as soon as today. Okay, so we'll see how the market reacts to this. See, it says live. Go click on it, see what's going on. $7:03. Updated today at 12 p.m. UTC. Part of an agreement, snap. Supreme Court extends. Oh, that's another thing. Do we have any speakers for today? Today is the 12th. So we got discussion, Governor Christopher Waller, payments, conversation with the Federal Reserve Governor Stephen I. Mirren, fireside chat at University of Cambridge. So both of those are happening today, a little bit later in the day, looks like. Right before maybe lunch or something.
Progress towards ending the record-breaking government shutdown. Senate passed a temporary funding measure that could reopen the government, but that now heads to the House for approval. With each passing day of the government remaining in shutdown mode, the extent of economic damage grows. And joining us to discuss this is Daniel Altman, economist and author of the High Yield Economics newsletter. Daniel, always good to see you. So let's start here, Daniel. You say that this government shutdown could be, you say, the most economically damaging shutdown in U.S. history. Walk us through that, Daniel. What makes this one different?
Thanks, Josh. This one is different because of its length. It is the longest one we've had, and also because of some of the dynamics between consumers and the government's contractors during this period. we have a situation where there are a lot of federal workers who aren't sure if they're ever going to get paid the money that they would have been owed for this period. So that's a drag on consumer demand. We also have a situation where the companies that do business with the government aren't necessarily getting paid. If you do that for 6 weeks, you're basically dropping about 2% of gross domestic product if the government's not paying any of its contractual obligations over that period. So I'm not saying that we've dropped 2%, but that's the maximum that we could drop within this period. And that would essentially wipe out our economic growth for this year. So the other thing to worry about in this situation is the kinds of commerce and business activity that cannot be recovered. In usual shutdowns that are shorter than this, we expect that whatever gets postponed during the shutdown will just get caught up later on. And economists tend to think that shutdowns don't make a big difference to the economy and growth. But we've seen situations here now where there is stuff that can't be recovered. We have flights that have been canceled. Those flights are never going to get flown again, right? That's money that the airlines are not getting unless they manage to jack up the prices on other seats enough to cover it. And there are other things like licensing and permitting where we can't have as much trade, we can't have as much commerce simply because those goods can't get off the boats in time because the offices are closed. And so when we start to lose those things, because the shutdown has been so long and there's so much uncertainty attached to it, that's when we have real economic damage.
There was, Daniel, this piece, just to lay out the other side here. I don't know if you saw this. The Journal had a report out today, and they put it like this. They note, ultimately, the CBO reckons the economy will be a bit worse off, but not in a way that will be all that noticeable. They go on to say a shutdown, even of this magnitude, is unlikely to leave much of a mark. But it sounds like you're seeing something different there, Daniel.
Yeah, I think there has been a lot of uncertainty in the economy, both on the consumer and business side. And that has not just postponed some purchases, but actually has dampened demand. We have had a terrible few months for consumers and businesses in terms of future planning and being able to make hiring and investment decisions. Just when we thought towards the end of August, early September, that tariff news was kind of settling down and that economic policy had kind of stabilized, we got more tariffs, we got this shutdown, and it's essentially raised the temperature on all this stuff where we were hoping to just let the economy get back to growth. So by doing this, I think we've essentially put everybody on their guard again when they were just starting to relax. And that's going to have long-term effects for the economy.
Okay. So I'm wondering over here on the daily chart. So we had this big correction in the NQ from 25,800 all the way down here to the 24/7. So this was from like Wednesday, went up here, went all the way down at the end of the week, and now it's back up to highs. So will this cause another correction? Was this correction false? Is it going to go even lower? Will it be a bigger move downward? I don't know. We had a little gap down here between 25,000 and 25,200 that hasn't been filled yet. So most of the times the market likes to fill gaps, but I'm just wondering where, if it does open up, let's say it opens up today, will it break out? Will it break out of these highs and go even higher? I don't know. Let's go and take this over here and Q. Go to the daily chart on this one. So the last big correction was here in April, sometime 2025, and it made this huge move out. We had a small little correction this past week, but I mean, it's not anything that actually broke down 24,000 whatever, went all the way down there. I don't know if these corrections are big enough. I think what they're waiting on is something that is super big, like something that's going to make us fall off the cliff. And at that time, I'm definitely going to have me some funds ready to go to be dollar cost averaging into some of my long-term investments. Looking over here, SLRX taking the lead position on at $1.74 or $1.74, and it's got 36 million shares traded. It is the leading. Now the CMCT has fallen off, and I just making it back up to the 3. That's quite a bit of a climb, especially on hump day. CMCT barely holding on to 75% and has really closed down its range there. So if that's the best we got on today is XLRX, hey man, it is maybe time to just go grab a bowl of cereal and watch the markets play out. Let me go and look at what Bitcoin is doing real quick. Oh, Bitcoin. Whoop, wrong one. Trading view. Bitcoin is up here. Let's see. So still holding right above that 100K mark. A lot of the cryptos are back green, so that's pretty good. I mean, my crypto really wasn't affected that much, really. It went down a little bit, but it wasn't like crazy downwards. And then I did get some good ads, so we'll see. I just hope that I have more time to dump some more in there. I just don't like adding too fast to long-term positions. I like to add, then watch it perform, add a little more, watch it perform, add a little more, and until I get a full cup. So some of these I got a lot of crypto, but some of these it's like maybe I got like maybe 2,000-3,000 of them, and we'll see what they do into the future. We shall see what they're going to do into the future. Okay. So CMCT and XLRX just switching positions back and forth around this 70% mark. AMZE. Yeah. Okay. Well, pretty much reviewed what we have for pre-market. I don't know if I'm going to end up finding anything, but anything else that's interesting. Most of the times, if something good is up, it'll be up here early. A lot of bots and things get it going early. Squid Game Market. Okay, so Squid Game Market, Asian retail traders are driving U.S. meme stocks. Interesting. I wonder, are they referring to like GameStop or what? I hadn't looked at GameStop in a minute. GameStop. GAME. Still around 21 bucks. Boy. GameStop is one of those stocks that I just don't even know how they're still in business, actually. I remember I used to go to GameStop. It used to be a cool place to hang out sometimes, but it just got more and more not fun because you got less back for the games that you were trying to trade in, and then they went digital games, so people just really didn't have a whole lot of use for like hard copy games or CDs and stuff like that, or not. Well, yeah, CD-ROMs. They were holding games, so I don't even know how they're still afloat, to be honest. Kind of like Blockbuster in a way, because Blockbuster had all those VHS tapes and things like that, and now it's like everything's so digital and so fast. Maybe if GameStop gets a crypto, maybe they'll hang in there a little bit longer, make a crypto coin, as well as the stock, tokenize their stock. Ocean rates tested by capacity conundrum. Don't know what that means. Growl raises nearly 750 million in IPO as India's retail investing boom continues. What's that talking about? Yeah, Blockbuster was pretty. And the thing was, there was so like these used to be spots where people would go and actually hang out. They'd be like, man, let's go check out what they got in Blockbuster. Whole group of people just in there just chilling, looking through movies. You know, everything we pretty much do online, it was that, but just in person, right? And of course you had a smaller selection because it's just what's in store. So but you know, it was good, you know, when people say, "Hey, let's have a movie night," you actually go and pick a movie up and be ready to go. But now we got Redbox, we got I think Redbox is one of the biggest ones that does physical movies now, I think. Those big red. Actually, I haven't seen one of those red boxes in a while outside of the stores. They used to be like vending machines outside of stores. Um, yeah, I haven't seen one in a while. Growl raises nearly 750 million in IPO as India's retail investing boom continues. India online brokerage platform Growl IPO on Wednesday proved the largest. So what is it? Their ticker? Growl listing, blah blah blah. That's not the ticker, is it? GR. Oh, these are looking like some weird tickers. So maybe it's, I don't know. It must be on something else. Growl Stocks Mutual Fund IPO. Yeah, it's an app too. Oh well. Anyway, pretty much seen everything that I want to see for today. Here's the I really didn't, the only thing that was really talked about in, where is it? The only thing that was really talked about in the news was AMD. These other ones, GLTO, that was yesterday. Body made money on that. QNRX was that ripper up to like 30 bucks yesterday. But as far as what the low floats are showing me today, not really seeing anything that I want to follow up on, but a lot of volume is out here. So if these are the things that people are interested in, then I'm just going to let them play on the day. I'll come back and look. We also have the Discord. The Discord is free. We continue conversations over there throughout the day as far as what we see in the markets and all of that good stuff. But yeah, you can join that and, you know, come check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not gonna waste too much time on hump day. Hump day is my worst day of the week anyway, so my expectations for today is kind of bland as well. SLRX did a nice little pop and drop back down to the 165s. I'm expecting this one to continue to drop though. But we'll see. All right, well, I'm about to shut it down. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Nice Wednesday. Let's see what we want to do here. Let's go over here and see what we got over here. Let's do this one. All right. I will see you guys in the next one. Keep your head on the swivel. Am I really done? Yeah, I'm done. Let's see. One life said Blockbuster. Who still owns a DVD player at this point? Do I have a DVD player? I think I got one. I think I got one for I think I might burn a disc or something ever so often. But I'm pretty sure I got one for burning things. But I haven't used it in so long I forgot how it works. Anyway, about to get on out of here. Appreciate you guys once again. I'll be back on tomorrow morning for pre-market. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.